Hi everybody, welcome back for another video. You can see I have a few things here today and I'm wanting to make a new sketch insert for my traveler's notebook for the standard TN group. I did have in here my 2021 calendar. I had the sketch insert that had my Karopi, and I decided to take that one out because I want to use that for like cartoon character development and stuff like that. And then my Midori insert, which I'm using for journaling, which if you saw the post the other day, I haven't really been using it that much. So I want to do something with that too. But so there's a few items that you will need. Number one, you'll need like some cardstock. This is just a piece of like craft colored cardstock that I got from Michael's in a pack of, I think it came with like 100 pieces for just $2 to $4 depending on sales and coupons you have. Sorry about that noise. And then a paper, of course, to use. This is what I'm using right here. It is charcoal paper, and it's 9 by 12, so of course we're gonna have to cut it down, but it's 64 pound, so, or 95 GSM. So it's a little bit thicker, and it's originally meant for charcoal, but since it is 64 pounds, I can use a few other types of media on it. You'll also need a bone folder, a paper trimmer, a stapler to bind your insert together, and then some way to cut your insert down. I have 12 pieces of paper here, which is 24 front and back. And then when you fold it in half and double that, you have 48. So what I thought of doing is, that's all I'm going to use. But what I did, well here, I'll add one more to it. So you can see or I'll add to the steps that I did. So this paper comes in a spiral bind. So I had to rip it out of the note, out of that book binding that it came in. And then the first thing I had to do was to remove this edge here. So all I did was place my paper in my Fiskars trimmer just to trim off that little stuff. Here's all of that paper. Now what I need to do is I need to fold it in half. And what I'm going to do is take 2 or 3 pages at a time. I hope you can see this okay. And I'm going to even it up. And this is where having a bone folder comes in handy. And this isn't actually made out of bone. It's made out of plastic. This is a Martha Stewart one that comes with a big scoring board I have. You could use the scoring board if you want to, but it's really not necessary. Sorry, the neighbors are home. And this charcoal paper, one side is a bit smooth and the other side is a little bit of a texture. I'm assuming it's like a cold pressed paper of sorts. And you just fold this in half. There's the last couple of pages. Okay. So we have that. Now, we need to take our cardstock, fold that in half. Now, if you do happen to have one of these big, this is a Martha Stewart board, which I don't even know if they make these anymore. I have had this, oh goodness, since about 2013 or so when I started making my own inserts. The paper is 11, so half of 11 is 5.5. I'm just gonna score a few times and just fold it in half and put the bone folder away. So now you have your cover, you have your paper that you're going to use to create this insert. And this actually might be too much paper for my stapler. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make 2 inserts. Just so you can see the paper from Michael's, you can get it in like a variety of colors. And I think there's this really pretty periwinkle blue I wanna use, just to show you how you can fold a piece of paper without having that, whatever that thing is called. Just line up your corners and then smooth it out. And that's okay if it isn't lined up perfectly, because we are going to trim the insert down to Midori size. So what I'm gonna do is, I think there's 24. I'm just gonna equally divide them. 2, 2. So this paper is gonna go in here. So what we end up having is 2, 4, 6 pieces of paper, which is 12 front and back, which then means there's 24 pages for each. And that's fine, because these are just gonna be fun play inserts. Now remember, the paper was 9 by 12, so that's why we have all this excess, and this is 8.5 by 11. So it won't line up evenly, but that's okay. We're gonna cut off of all of the sides. So I'm gonna take my Bostitch, B-O-S-T-I-T-C-H stapler, and what I'm going to do is line this up with the bottom at the edge, and then I'm going to line this up with the bottom of this paper. And the reason I'm doing that is I'm going to be cutting the same amount off of each side, so the staples will be equally spaced. And you can see there in the center. And we're going to do that to this one as well. And since the paper is, 95 GSM or 65 pound, it's a good thing. There we go. That we have some less paper in there, so that way the stapler will work fine. Now, I'm gonna set you up near my large industrial paper trimmer so you can see how I trim these down, okay? Give me a moment to set all that up. Okay, so here we are at my heavy duty paper trimmer. The one thing that we need to remember is that the width of an insert is 11 centimeters. So we're gonna line this paper guard to 11. Now I do need to get my blade sharpened, so it might be a little hard, but the inserts aren't that thick, so it should be okay. I'm gonna take the stapled side and place it right up against the guard, and I'm gonna lock it in place. I'm gonna press my release up here, pull down the handle, and there the handle goes up. And I've removed this from the side. Now we're gonna pull that out. And that's the first one. We're gonna do the exact same thing with the one with the cracked cardstock. Slide it under. Gonna lock it in place. I'm gonna pull the handle down. Yeah, I need to get my blade sharpened. And again, you'll see the same waist. Now, the size of the height of a traveler's notebook is 21 centimeters. So what we're going to do is we're going to first line it to a 1/4 of an inch past 21. So we're not quite 8.5, but we're just almost. Sorry, not a 1/4, an 1/8 of an inch. Sorry, an 1/8 of an inch past. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut off this top portion that has the excess. Now, because of the size of this insert, we really don't have any waste or scrap that we can use. We're gonna pull our lever. There's just not enough. Let's see, that's what's off at the top. We've got one more to do. See? Oops. I think Kitty had been sitting up here. She kind of tries to jump everywhere she shouldn't go. And because I'm back here and mentioned her name, she'll probably try to join us. And then we have one more cut to make. And that is to make them both 21. And you'll see there's a line, a dotted line right here, which is 21 centimeters, which I will line this up at. And we're gonna cut from the other side. You'll see I swapped these around. So we will, it's a little awkward doing this with camera in the way. And then this is an even tiny sliver. See? Just a little extra waste. And you can recycle it, or if you were a person that made your own paper, you know, it'd be a really nice paper to use for making homemade paper, because it's a beautiful Strathmore paper. And here's that last bit. And I will take you back to the table. Okay, we are back. You'll see I decided to grab my corner rounder. If you want to round the corners, get a quarter rounder. If not, the corners look just perfect like that. My Foxy Fix has rounded corners, and I like the look of rounded corners. So we're going to round the corners. This one has a large, a medium, and a small. I'm going to use the medium. And so I will, see how much that takes off? So I will speed up this rounding corner music. And there we are. You can see we have 2 new finished sketch inserts. And I'm gonna put one of them in my Foxy Fix Traveler's Notebook. I definitely recommend getting this exact corner rounder if you're going to make your own inserts and if you're going to round lots of corners, or even if you use it on like ephemera that you're going to be putting in your traveler's notebook. Like, that's what I used to round the corners of my business cards. I use it to round the corners of lots of things. I used it on this insert. I used it on this insert. It's a really great one. I will link it down below. I got it from Amazon. I'm sure there are other places you can get it. We have Amazon Prime, so we have free shipping. So that's why I got it from Amazon. That's the only reason why I did. And then I just have to clear the paper scraps from here. So why don't we put the blue one in? Because it goes really nicely with this cover. And I might use that cover for this notebook for next year, I don't know, for my monthly. So we have the Peaky Dory, which I keep calling it Peaky Dory. It's not anymore. It's Planning with John insert. Here we are in November. There's a few things I'm not doing in December, and I'm thankful for that. Here's my new sketch insert, which is charcoal paper, so I can use charcoal. I can use pastels if I want to, or, you know, different types of media. Pencils, it has a little bit of texture, so it'll grip onto there. And since it's 65 pounds, I can gently use watercolor. Not a lot of water, but I can gently use watercolor. I've got my zipper pouch with lots of ephemera and stuff. Like, just to show you, you can use the quarter rounder on your Post-it notes. Like, here, I'll do the larger one so you can see it a little bit better. See, look at that. As opposed to the square. wonderful tool I have. And my journaling insert. And my old 2015 writing board, my first Midori official one. And it still said Midori on the bottom back then. Yeah, love that thing. So, I hope this was a helpful video. And you can use any paper. If you want to make an insert of any size, and you just want to have a little pocket notebook to go, in the monthly calendars, there's those dot grid pages. Just take those dot grid pages, print those out, bind them either this way or the previous way I showed you with the stitching, and, you know, cut it down, and you'll have your own insert for you to go, where you don't even necessarily need to have a traveler's notebook. You're going to throw this in your bag, in your purse, throw it in like a folder, or like put it inside of a binder if you're using a binder system for school, and have your own little notebook with you. So let me know if you have any questions. Please leave a comment down below, and I will get back with you as soon as I can. Okay? Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.